Hello, we're going to talk about TaxJar and its integration with Acumatica. This is Matt Butler of Advanced Solutions. What you see on your screen right now is a diagram depicting just how this all works. As you can see, we integrate both with e-commerce edition as well as outside regular old Acumatica. Works either way perfectly. Calculate for all the jurisdictions in the United States as well as a greater portion of Canada, and that keeps expanding with TaxJar and their capabilities. So everything in Acumatica works out of the box just like you would expect. Whenever you book a sales order, you get your sales tax. When you book your invoices, it calculates sales tax and files it in the TaxJar portal. We're going to go over some of this right now. So we're going to start with the differing types of customers. You have different types of customers based on their taxability. Our first one is just going to be a non-exempt customer. They have no exemptions. When we open them up in the TaxJar integration and we look at our tax exemptions, we can see that they have no usage and no jurisdictions where they're non-taxed. Now, if we go ahead and look at these other two, we have two of them. We're going to scroll back and forth between the two. We have a California reseller that is exempt in California, and then another reseller that's exempt in multiple states. So we're going to go ahead and open up our exempt in California customer. I'm going to look at my exemptions, and sure enough, I can see that Acumatica says he is of type resale. The provider TaxJar also agrees that he is resale, and he was last synced on the 25th. This is good for the United States, in the state of California, and here is his exemption ID. Now, if we go ahead and look at a multi-jurisdiction exempted customer, and this is a reseller in California, but he's also exempt in the state of Washington. We can put our exemption IDs in. We can even set expiration dates. But again, you can see that the entity usage, which is the entity usage that you're used to seeing with the tax zone in your stock Acumatica, says this is my tax provider, and here is my usage. Okay. So we have a few differing sales order types I'm going to show you. So our first one, we have a non-exempt customer shipping to a taxable state in TaxJar. We've set up what states we're subject to sales tax. If we come over here, we can look and see that we're set up in Alabama, North Carolina, as well as a number of other states. If you need assistance, you may not have an office location, but if you need assistance, you can actually, in TaxJar, check the button that says, hey, let's check if I have economic nexus. And so you've already connected your e-commerce and your Acumatica to TaxJar, and you've committed your business profile. And so this is going to run a checker to tell me what I need to worry about as far as jurisdictions. Real handy. So here we have a sales order, and this sales order is for $110 Lego piece set, and TaxJar, when it went out and checked, found that this was being shipped to California. And so our tax details were for the state of California and San Diego's county tax, as well as a special tax for that particular address. Very standard. The sales tax calculations will be the same in your e-commerce website. If you connect it to TaxJar, it will flow through here. And when you invoice, all of the same information will be present. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next sales order. And our next sales order is that exempt customer that ships to a non-tax state. So this is actually shipping somewhere we're not taxed. So in this case, we shipped it to Pennsylvania. Same customer, different address. And what we can see is there are no tax details coming back because this is not a taxable sale. So it's not an exempt customer, but it is an exempt jurisdiction. So now let's get into the more interesting examples, such as the California reseller who happens to have, as you recall, a United States for the country and California for the state in his exemptions. So we look at this, and again, even though I am shipping to California, we can see that we have no tax details. So what we're going to do is look at finally making this one, and let's take this off of hold. Let's go ahead and create a shipment. Right? Just going to go ahead and make this shipment. Acumatica, going through its inventory and shipping routines, will generate a shipment for me, and then I will go ahead and look at my packages to complete this. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. We have a 1 pound package here, basically. We'll confirm the shipment. I guess it's like box. In that case, we're just going to tell it, forget you. I'm going to go ahead and do something about the packages. Thank you. And so we'll confirm the shipment. And once confirmed, we'll be able to invoice this order. And the reason we want to show you that is because when it hits TaxJar, we want you to see that the sales tax, although it was supposed to be taxed in California, because there is a resale certificate on file in Acumatica and in TaxJar, you're not actually going to result in any sales tax for the order. Thus, all of your gross sales, whether taxable or non-taxable, will all be in TaxJar, enabling you to later, one button, auto-file your sales tax for any particular nexus. Huge time saver. So now we look at this and we can see that we have no sales tax. And if we go to TaxJar, look at our transactions, I should see, well, I guess we should probably release the invoice. That would probably help us. So we're looking at 5874. You can see 5873. I'm going to go ahead and release this invoice. And come back to TaxJar. And we'll look at our overall dashboard for California. Let's look at our sales tax report for our transactions, right? Oh, there we go. Okay, transactions, and